If you're about to run some podcast ads, you need to know how to write the right creative for the hosts so they don't mess it up and you maximize conversion. In this video, we're going to go through what's good and what's not good and the right structure in order for you to maximize your conversions with any podcast ads you run. I'm Cam Pritchard, the CEO of SpotsNow, and today we're going to dig in and go through an exercise. But before I get into it, I want to introduce you to my co-host, Jeremy. And Jeremy and we're going to go and we're going to listen to a couple of different ads and we're going to basically grade them. But Jeremy's coming in fresh and he's going to try and determine if it's a good ad or it's a bad ad and why. So it should be a bit of fun.
What's up, guys? I'm Jeremy Boudinet, growth advisor, and I am here with Cam Pritchard, the founder and CEO of SpotsNow, the leading podcast advertising platform. And we have an exciting thing we're going to do today. We're going to go through an actual podcast ad that we love, or Cam loves, I should say, and we're going to diagram it for you and show you what works, what doesn't. I'm actually going to come in and judge the ad after Cam does his breakdown, see if it works on me. So we're super excited, Cam, right?
Yeah, we're excited. So before we dive in, I just want to go through the fundamentals of creating a really good ad.
Take it away.
And then after this, we're going to go and we're going to look at different ads. We'll look at a good one and one that we think is a bad one. And so we can actually see this play out in reality and you can see how easy it can happen.
Awesome. All right, so Cam's going to take it over. We're going to look at the whiteboard here and he's going to diagram for you what a great podcast ad actually looks like.
So first off, we need to create a really crisp intro and thought starter. So what this can look like is basically you want to prompt the host of a podcast with a few key points. Maybe an intro is a little bit of information about your brand, maybe why it's special, why it spikes. Basically at this point, you're going to educate them and give them a few prompts as to how they can introduce it. Maybe if it's a clothing company, maybe it's like a way to talk about winter and how it's so cold and it's really hard to find a warm jacket that's not super thick. Then we want to talk about personal experience. And so we want the host to then go and relate these points to their personal experience. Now, there's a prerequisite to this where you really want to send the host the product. That'll get them excited. They get to try it. It's just going to come off way more authentic. If you fail to do this step here, they're kind of not going to know you. And it's going to really show in the creative. So in here, you can have a few prompts as to help them relate it to their personal experience. Even better, they've got the product, they've used it in their day-to-day. Perfect. Now, of course, every brand has a few things that they don't want a host to say. So list these down, make these explicit so we don't mess up the ad. The problem with podcast host-read ads is that they're a little bit unstructured. And that's the magic because it's authentic, it's off script, it feels part of the episode. But we don't want to go too far where we say the wrong things about the brand. And so very important to include that. Last of all, we want the audience to take action. So we need to make sure that we don't mess this piece up. And the host knows very clearly exactly the landing page it's going to go to, what the promo code is, what they need to tell the audience to do. Is it a special offer, etc. Very, very important to get this right. I cannot say how often this goes wrong, where people mention the website the wrong way or the promo code slightly off. So be very, very explicit and clear in this here. Now, in SpotsNow, we make this all very easy. It's a simple form you can fill out. So it's basically going to protect you from messing this up and making sure that you can maximize your impact. So to just summarize, you got your introduction and thought starter. So this is little tidbits about your brand, getting the host familiar and excited about what it is, how it could maybe fit into their life, what's so special about it, what's different. Second, you're going to give them a few bullet points as to how they could relate this to their personal experience. You're going to do this after hopefully sending them the product. Maybe you don't need to send it to them physically, but you just give them a discount code and they can go and get the product for free. Then you're going to put in the don't says. So make sure that you are very explicit about what not to say. And then finally, you've got your CTA. You need your promo code in there, your website, exactly what you want them to say. So the thing that can convert. If you mess this up, you waste all the time, all the money you've spent because you're not going to get results. So with that said, it's time to get Jeremy in the hot seat.
All right.
And we're going to play a couple ads. Okay. First ad is going to be from a show called Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard. Okay. And it is from the brand Quince. So let's play it.
You're supported by Quince. Winter in LA is weird. It'll be 75 degrees one day, then suddenly you need an actual coat. I've been rotating through the same 3 jackets for years, and honestly, they're looking rough. So I finally upgraded my winter ones, and the difference is wild. Their Mongolian cashmere sweaters are ridiculously soft. Like, I didn't know cashmere could feel this good without costing a mortgage payment. And their wool coats and Italian leather outerwear, they're the kind of pieces that actually last.
They also have amazing homeware. Do not sleep on the homeware. And if someone's moving and you want to get them like a little swarming gift, it's the perfect place. I got a friend some curtains. Yeah.
It's curtains. QCs.
Prince curtains, do it.
What I love about Quince is they cut out the middleman. Bye-bye. They work directly with trees and have ethical production standards, so you're getting luxury quality without the luxury markup. We're talking premium materials, thoughtful design, stuff that'll last you multiple winters, not just one. Refresh your winter wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/DAX for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/DAX. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DAX.
All right. Okay.
So, Jeremy, what is it? Is this a good ad or a bad ad?
I actually really like this ad. So, first of all, Dax, who I know, like famous actor, right? We all know Dax Shepard, I think. He did a great read. He seemed really passionate. The energy was there. I used to live in LA. I love the opening call about living in LA and like it gets cold sometimes. It does. So, and he needed to upgrade his winter wardrobes. I'm like, okay, it seems authentic and real. The cashmere, I love how you compared buying cashmere to a mortgage payment and how expensive it is. That was a good, like, very, like visual way to kind of think about that. So it worked on me. I'm like, okay, this seems like a good option. Seems like it's very high end, nice. My girlfriend would like the outerwear too. Maybe it's a gift idea. I love how he spelled it out too, because I was actually thinking it was QINTZ for some reason, but he spelled it at the end and it was QINCE. So it worked on me, man. It didn't feel too salesy. It felt like he was relaying his personal experience with it, and it felt very organic, like it was basically a customer testimonial sort of mixed into the podcast. So overall,
you want to score it on the board. How did it go?
Yeah. Let's get here.
So-
All right. So intro and thought starters. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I enjoyed the intro and thought starters, and maybe I'm a little bit biased. I lived in LA, but it was very relevant to me. I had flashbacks to moving to LA in December and it was cold, and I was like, this sucks.
There's also a little bit of information about cashmere, what was good about it, what was different,
Right.
etc.
Personal experience, I'm gonna give them an 8 out of 10. Is that his wife who jumped in? Isn't his wife like a famous actress? I think she is. I know people watch this are gonna know who Dax's wife is. It's not Kristen Bell, is it?
Well, I think what was really cool is that both of them, went at it. That just shows you that they really put a lot of effort into this ad to make it work.
Yeah, I think the fact they both jumped in there and shared their personal experience, it felt like it was a conversation. It became a conversation, actually. It wasn't that. It was like, here we're talking about our experience using this. So I'm gonna give that an 8 out of 10. It was cool. I've never bought curtains, so it's not really that part. I was like, okay, cool, sure. Like, but I'm sure to the right buyer that, made a lot of sense. As far as don't say, I feel like they didn't say anything that would have been inflammatory or like negative or talking about a competitor or anything like that. I thought they did a great job talking about moving out the middleman too, which was like a positive thing. I think that probably made me think, okay, all these other guys are upcharging because there's some middleman involved, but these guys, it sounds like have like, basically create some cost savings for me. So that's great. And the CTA was great. Very simple, like /Dax, hard to mess that up. I'm gonna give that one a 10 out of 10. Thought they did a great job with that.
Well, congratulations, Dax. In Jeremy's eyes, you knocked one out of the park.
Yeah, that was solid. That was a great ad. I am normally not the type of guy who gets, sold on clothing ads, but I actually think that was really well done.
And so the second one we're going to do is from a podcast called Angela Yee's Lip Service. I don't know this one too well, but we're going to play an ad from a company called Legends, which is a gaming platform. But I don't know too much about that as well. So let's see how this one.
I'm intrigued by this.
From your couch, slots, sports, original games, Legends has it all. It's free to play, but you can win for real. Life's busy, take a break and dive into the fun. Legends with the Z.com. Legendary fun, always free, always so much Fun! New users get a 100% bonus on their first purchase. No purchase necessary. Legends International. Boy, we're prohibited by law. 18 and over. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay.
Okay. That was interesting. I didn't see that one coming. Okay. So, first of all, hilarious. I've watched guys, I've never played an online gambling service myself, Cam, but I've seen guys do it. I think it's fascinating. Like they're here playing blackjack on their computer for money. So, but I used to play online poker back in the day.
Okay.
Fun facts.
Okay.
Kind of
Well,
relevant.
he's
Okay.
in the audience.
Sort
How did
of.
the egg go?
That was interesting. There were mixed things about it. So if I want to go to this, so intro and thought starters. Legends with a Z was a good opening because, like, right off the bat, I would have been thinking Legends with an S. Obviously, there wasn't really like anything memorable though. There was no like I didn't feel like it was that. Like I was like, okay, cool. It's an online casino. I can go. I can gamble and stuff like that. Wasn't a whole lot of thought starters. Though. It was like, oh, if you're like, what'd she say? Like, if you're stressed or something like that, you need a break. So I'm actually gonna give that like a 6 out.
I actually found, like, when I first heard it, I thought the website was Legends with a Z.
Oh, did you really? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Okay. Interesting.
So that was like that would have been a miss.
I also felt like too, I hate to say it, but like it felt like the host didn't really match with the vibe of the actual product. I'm not even sure about the selection here. Cause like, I don't feel like she good fit for like her voice maybe, or like, she's like, it just didn't seem something seemed off about that choice. So, anyways, I'm gonna go 6 out of 10 on that. Personal experience, I'm gonna go 3 out of 10. There's no personal experience. Like
Absolutely zero.
as far as I know, this girl's never gambled in her life, which hey, good for her. But yeah, there was none of that. It was very much I have a script here to read. I'm gonna read the script very well. It felt like she did do a great job of like energy and see me into it, and like she has a good voice and all that stuff. But like there was no personal. Whereas with the last one, I felt like Dax was talking about actually using the platform. Like she could have told something about, I played blackjack the other day. I won $500. I got this great endorphin rush from it. It was so much fun. It was a great way to spend 30 minutes winding down with a glass of wine, but she didn't do that. So
I mean, the company could have given her some credit.
they
And
could have.
just said ahead, hey, look, like you and your partner, friends, go and try this one out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a miss right there. As far as don't say, I mean, she didn't say anything terrible. I feel like, it was nothing. There's anything that was like a turnoff about it. She did have to say, I know you're required by law, I think, to say void or prohibited, all that stuff. I'm not going to dock her for that because I think that's like a requirement for like any gambling stuff. But like, every time I hear a gambling ad, I've heard like DraftKings ads a million times. They always have to include that stuff at the end. It kind of does like kill the ad a little bit. So you almost have to like overcompensate for that, I feel like, and put some extra personalization in there. The CTA, it was fine. I mean, it was like I don't know, a 6 out of 10. It was like go to legendswithaz.com. Again, fine. I know Legends exists now. I will say it's not like I had no idea it existed. If you're interested in online gambling, you probably know about it now. So it's not like it was a total loss for them, but I just feel like they left a lot on the table in terms of how it could have gone.
And they're buying a host rate ad. That last one was 30 seconds, whereas the Dax one was 60 seconds.
Yeah.
And Dax actually went over 60 seconds. So he did about 1 minute 19,
Okay.
meaning that brand, it's got some really good value. And so Dax just went the extra mile, which is like a good indication of a host that really is like taking their sponsors very seriously.
And it brings me a good point, man. You always talk about needing to buy a 60-second ad instead of a 30-second ad. I kind of see why now. They probably didn't have time to do a personal experience in 30 seconds with her and also get all the information there they wanted to get. So that's a benefit of doing the 60-second ad as well.
Although I think you can still fit it in, right? Like you could put a quick, this is how it fits into my life.
Sure. Doesn't take long to say that. Doesn't take long to say I won money winning or playing blackjack. Yeah.
So this is one framework you can use. Of course, everyone's got their different frameworks. This is simple. It really focuses on personal experience.
Sorry. Had to put it. Dax is the winner.
Dax is the winner.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Dax. We love you for doing that ad so well. That is very cool. It probably cost the advertiser a lot of money. It's a big show.
Yeah.
But Dax was a professional, showed up, co-host was in there. Very cool.
And shouts out to Quince. They obviously did everything right there, giving them product, really giving them a good idea of what to say and all that good stuff, right?
Yeah.
So huge.
Absolutely. So all this is to say, just to round it out, intro and thought starters, you want personal experience, send the product, make it so they can relate to it a little bit more. Put down the things that you don't want them to say. And finally, ensure that CTA is very, very powerful. And do these things before your ad, and you're going to dramatically increase the chances of high conversion.
Love it, man. It's great distillation. I think this is a great framework for anyone to use. So definitely do that. End up on the winner column. Don't be on the loser column and leave stuff on the table. So yeah, great stuff, man. Well, Cam, this has been great. I've learned a lot. I now want to go buy some cashmere. I'm ready to also buy some podcast advertising. Can you tell people where they can get in touch with you and SpotsNow?
You want to get going, go to SpotsNow. Very simple. You can go and you can find last minute offers of open spots that you can advertise on. And it's very simple to use to go and build these ads in the right way and actually set them up for success. You can measure it, etc., through the entire platform. It's a one-stop shop.
Love it, man. Yeah, where you run your entire podcast ad strategy from soup to nuts all in SpotsNow, which is incredible. Maybe even find a guy with a New Zealand accent like Cam has. That's a plus.
Yeah, wow.
The best accent. All right, well, thanks everyone. Check out SpotsNow, and we hope this helps.